It's so easy to forget that we actually create how our day goes for us. We live our lives, we get whacked around, unexpected things happen, expected things happen. We don't sleep well, we're hormonal, we're cunty with a K. And then it's like, this is a terrible day. This is a terrible week. What's going on this month? And we make it 1,000 times worse than it needs to be. And even more importantly, we forget that we actually have the power within us to shift this at any given time. So I was getting ready the other morning, and I am not a morning person, full disclosure. I think most of you have gathered that at this point. I love sleeping. I'm very good at it. If I didn't use multiple alarms, I am not joking you. I would probably naturally rise at like maybe 10 a.m. Okay. So when I was looking in the mirror as I was doing my morning face routine and all the stuff, I went, you know what? All these influencers who are doing these get ready with me's, I actually do a version of that. I do the get ready with me, but the abundant edition, get abundant with me. And something I teach a lot, especially over on TikTok. So if you're not already over there getting my content, it's completely different than content you'll see from me on Instagram. So I highly recommend it. It's at Project Me with Tiffany. Also, I teach this inside my Secret Posse weekly digest. This is my exclusive email list where they're emails from me, not from a robot, where I give you exclusive content like manifestation exercises, tips, and tricks, and things that you can incorporate into your daily life without adding more time, more stuff to do, more energy in order to get you back in the abundant zone or keep you there. And one of those things is multitask manifesting, which is why I'm bringing you this episode today to come back to again and again. This is designed for you to play while you're brushing your teeth, while you're washing your face. You can bring me in the shower because apparently 70% of you do this, which I totally get now. It is a vibe. I've listened to myself in the shower. You can be sitting there enjoying your morning cup of coffee. There are no rules around it, but how we do start our day is so important. And if you have a wild mind like me, which my guess is, is that you do, our brains can instantly go to, oh, I have to go to the jobby job. Oh, I have all these things to do that I procrastinated on and I wish I didn't. I have to go work out. I've got to go make the lunches. And I'm not saying for you to not feel your feelings around those things and acknowledge those, but I just don't want you getting kind of stuck in that spot because that does not set you up for the abundance that I know you want to attract into your life and in the easy way that you can attract it. So we have to diligently and proactively and intentionally do things in order to counteract that like natural fear-based anxiety, depression, wild mind. And this is one of them. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you get your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between in order. So, to prep yourselves for the special Get Ready with Me, the Abundant Edition, you really don't have to do much except multitask in your morning routine. I would prefer that you are doing something at the same time. I call this active meditation. So if you have never done, or they're just sitting there and you've not done anything with them, my very well known and world famous guided abundance walks are also perfect for you. What I do that's different in terms of manifestation, abundance, and meditation is, for me, what I noticed is when I am in movement, that I am able to absorb and really take in the words and the energy of a guided meditation. But also, when we walk and we move, especially if you're someone who is neurodivergent, as ADHD, or a trauma survivor like me, or you have a lot of high stressors, high cortisol going on in your life, you're able to release through movement. We're able to get our cells moving, the blood pumping. We're able to expel so much easier when we move. Like, you may have heard of like somatic healing, right? The movement is so important, and get us back inside of our bodies and outside of just living in our heads, or even worse, floating somewhere out in space and not even being present whatsoever. So you want to get those. That is a perfect, perfect, perfect complement to what we're doing here. And I have linked those in the show notes and here in the description on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, how fun is this robe that I just got? A purple unicorn robe, for those of you who can't see. If you're someone who really enjoys also watching my videos, it could be good for you to subscribe to the ProjectME TV channel. On the podcast, you can see the behind the scenes of the podcast studio as it's being built. Also, you can comment in real time while watching, so that can help your focus. And I read and reply to as many as I can. So all the links for all the things I mentioned today are inside of the show notes or in the description on YouTube. And that's a free gift to you for my guided walking meditations. I swap them out per season. So this is your season of abundance is the theme of this set. And there's a series of 3, but there's a bonus 4th one. And when you get it, you'll go, oh my gosh, thank God. This is exactly what I need. So for today, you're going to definitely want to save this episode. Make sure it's downloaded on your phone so you can access it at any time. I want you to play this when you get up in the morning instead of playing the money noise in your head, the scarcity in your head, the old tapes, the limiting beliefs, all the wildness and fears that go on. Intentionally play something that is going to put you back into the abundance zone. And I know so many of you already listen to the podcast while you're getting ready in the morning. There's something very soothing about my voice and my words and our topics that we share on here that help you, which is such an incredible compliment to me. That this voice I was bullied for my entire life, and I still get made fun of for it. It ends up being a tool for great healing and incredible empowering results in abundance in all areas of your life. It's just amazing how that works. So I, on this end, am going to close my eyes. I do not prepare when I create these. Same for my abundance walks. The only thing I do for preparation is I prepare my energy. I make sure it's clean. I make sure that I'm in the most abundance frequency as I possibly can at this time. And that way it can be transferred to you so that you can feel that. And I'm trusting that whatever comes out of my mouth is exactly what you were supposed to hear today at this given time. And it's being channeled through a higher source through me. And I'm the conduit. And it's coming from a higher source because that higher frequency is where the abundance is at. And as mere human beings, we can slip in, we can even live in these lower frequencies, and then nothing ever seems like it's working for us because we're not on the right channel. And so all we have to do is turn the dial. And that's what I'm going to help you do today. And it gets to be that simple in turning the dial. You just have to consciously make the choice to take an action like this with this multitasking manifesting. Let's turn the dial. We're turning the channel to abundance and be open and willing to shift into that channel. You can always go back to that static channel, the janky channel, the channel that stresses you out, the channel that gets your blood pumping and not in a good way, the channel that has you all frazzled and makes you feel like you have to force and push and do and grind and it's never enough and you're always going and no one cares and it's all on you. You can stay on that if you want, or you can shift to a channel where nothing more is required of you other than you being you. And everything is happening for your greatest good. And you get to go slow and steady. You don't need to be fast and furious. In fact, that's the opposite of what you need to be. You get to make more and work less. And it really is a thing. It's not too good to be true. This is a thing. It's equally available to you. And your job is to be open and willing to believe it so that you can receive it. I get to take care of myself today. In fact, I get to take care of myself and check in with myself at any minute, at any time throughout the day, and take care of my needs and attend to my needs. And there's nothing selfish about this. In fact, it's the most selfless thing I can do because when I honor myself, when I check in with myself, when I take care of myself, when I follow through on the things that my body needs, my mind needs, my inner child needs, this only impacts everyone around me and affects the greater good of the family, the greater good of my clients, the greater good of my business, the greater good of my spiritual practice. In fact, this is what's been missing from my spiritual practice. This is what's been missing from my manifestations is I've gotten a little slippery about really honoring and following through and prioritizing myself. I get pulled in so many directions. There's so many things going on, and it can be one of the first things that we let go of. And you're hearing this right now to be reminded I get to take care of me. And the better I take care of me, the more abundant state I'm in. And then the more energy that I have, and the more delight that I have, and the better my mood is, and the better my creative thinking is, and my problem solving is, and the more ease and relax and stable my mood is. And then every single person I come in contact with, whether it's a stranger, it's a child, it's a family member, it's a potential business opportunity, it only radiates because then I'm operating on a true abundance frequency. But depriving myself of what I need and pushing and forcing instead of resting and doing more when I really need a moment to do less and feeling like I have to keep sacrificing instead of really going after and building the life that I want, that's keeping me in a spot of scarcity. That's staying in a frequency where it'd be very hard for abundance to be able to get in. It's like being at the bottom of the ocean and wanting oxygen, and it's so far away and such a long journey, but you're developing roots down there. And it's time to allow yourself to float up to the top, to feel the sun, to feel the warmth, to get the fresh air, to be able to delight in the waves. And it all starts with honoring yourself first. Instead of abandoning yourself, we're no longer going to do that. And I want you to look in the mirror right now. If you're not near a mirror, I want you to go to a mirror. And I don't want you to look at a zit on your face. I don't want you to look at your lashes that need to be done. I don't want you to look at your body and criticize it or how crazy your hair looks right now. I just want you to look in your eyes. Look right in your eyes and say, I see you. I see you. I love you. You can whisper it. You can say it in any voice you want, but say that. I see you. I love you. You can put your hand over your heart or cross your hands over you and give yourself a hug. Maybe you need to say, I'm sorry. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry. Because the way you've been neglecting yourself, the way you've been, you know, avoiding doing things to take care of your body in order to take care of your abundance and be able to live a life of freedom that I know you so badly want, in order to be able to detach and have more fun and play and delight in life, there's a form of neglect going on. And my guess is you wouldn't do this with another person. If you were doing this with a child in your care, that would likely be considered abuse. And it's okay. You don't need to shame yourself for doing it. Just somewhere along the line, from childhood to some kind of a relationship, you were taught that you go last and your needs don't matter and they're not that important. And you somehow have developed such an insane tolerance for pain and neglect within yourself. And that gets to stop right now. That gets to stop today. Look at yourself. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry. We're going to do better now. And you can smile. We're going to do better now. And this is where we start. It all starts with us. We're the common denominator of our lives. Exactly what you want, the freedom to have a slow morning, the freedom to be able to have your cup of coffee and maybe make your kids breakfast, even if you don't like to cook, but you have the time and the energy to do it because you're not so depleted. Maybe it has nothing to do with family at all. And just to have the space to read a damn chapter of a book in peace, to be able to see something on social media about a country you've wanted to visit, a city you want to explore, and be able to book that in an evening without even being able to have to think about how much is this going to cost? Where am I going to go get the money? Can I afford it? How am I going to be able to take off from work? What are my clients going to do? How am I going to be able to do this? The freedom to be able to delight in this incredible world that's been given to us by a higher source. You being able to have the mattress that allows you to have the best night's sleep, the exact couch you want, not the couch that was on a special deal, to be able to have the house or the second house in the area that sounds so fun and expansive to you, and not say, oh, maybe someday, or I don't know if that'll ever happen for me. It is happening for you. All of it is happening for you if you choose to also actively manifest. But it starts with you believing it. All this abundance is here. You wouldn't be seeing it otherwise. The seeing it is the evidence of it. You're here in a physical body. We forget because we float around and do all these busy things all day. When you look at yourself in the mirror, whether you're brushing your hair or your teeth or you're washing your face, instead of thinking about 50 other things, every time you catch yourself, take a moment. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry. It's that quick, even in the rearview mirror of your car, even when you're putting on lip gloss, even a reflection in a shower door. I want you to start doing that. You do have love for yourself, or you wouldn't even be listening to this right now. You want more for yourself. You want a life that feels like a giant fucking exhale, a beautiful exhale, that feeling that you get after having a glorious massage, an amazing facial, or after an incredible yoga class, like you're floating. You can wake up feeling like that. You can have many, many days of your week but like that. That is a real thing. And it can seem so far fetched to where you're at right now. But you keep listening to this and allow yourself to have some stillness, allow yourself to have some of this quiet time, this divine time, this intentional time to tune that station, to tune that frequency into abundance. You'll be reminded you're going to start seeing signs. In fact, I want you to call in a sign from the universe right now. Ask God, ask the universe, ask your angels, ask a higher source. Please show me a clear sign that I am being divinely guided to abundance. Please make it clear. I would love to see it often. And I'll do my part and I will slow down. I will do abundance walks. I will come back and listen to this. I will pause when I look in the mirror and say, I see you. I love you. I'm sorry. We'll do better now. Because if you're still running around so fast and you've been asking for signs, you've been begging for signs, you don't see them, you're missing them because you're not present. How could you possibly hear a song on a channel you're not even tuned to? You have to tune it. That's on you. You have to actually turn the dial. You have to press the buttons. That's your part in the act of manifesting that you're committing to today. And then the universe does the rest of it. It could be in the form of seeing a particular bird, a crow, a blue jay, a raven. It could be that you see certain numbers on a clock, like 222, 1111. It could be a certain color. It could be a butterfly. But know that if you're seeing something repeatedly or you're seeing something that is unusual or out of the ordinary, instead of going, that's weird, I want you to say thank you. This is for you. And I know it can be hard to believe when you feel like so much has been taken from you in your life and so many things are hard and you feel so burdened. You just got stuck in a low frequency channel. That's all. And when we're in a low frequency channel, we see everything that's low frequency. It's very hard to hear the songs on the abundance channel when we're in a totally different station. So the job is to do your part into being in that abundant station. I'm going to do my part. We're going to do better now in tuning during all these times of the day that we can multitask. This doesn't take more energy. This doesn't take more time. This gets to be fun. In fact, this gets to be easy. The fact that you see abundance at all, you notice how beautiful the flowers are. You notice the perfect breeze on one of those days, those spring days where like the temperature's perfect, the breeze is perfect, the sun is perfect, the birds are chirping. That's pure freedom and abundance. You don't have to be in an area where you're living on the ocean to experience that. It's all around you. You wouldn't have even been able to have found this show and be listening to this right now out of the gazillions of pieces of content and all of the podcasts and all the episodes in the world. You're supposed to be here because you're a divine match for abundance. Just you've forgotten. Your ego wants you to forget. The certain people and things in society and the low level programming wants you to forget because we're not in our best power when we're not abundant. We're not empowered when we're in scarcity. So there's a lot of people, places, things, and institutions that want to keep you in scarcity because then you're not empowered to grow. Then you're not empowered to make the money that allows you to be free, to give you the options that you want, to think freely, to think creatively, to expand, to impact millions of people, to raise everyone else's vibration up, including yourself. But whatever you are desiring, whatever you want, that was put in you for a reason. It's because it's meant for you. You're supposed to have it. If you lined up right now 200 people and asked them, what is a vision that you have that you would want so badly for your life? You would see some common themes, but everyone's would look a little different because that was placed there for a reason. That is their divine abundance that is meant for them. And while you might not know exactly how, or you kind of know how, but you're starting to doubt because it feels so hard and you're in that hard part, of that journey of climbing that mountain, come back to the fact that you wouldn't have this desire in your heart. You wouldn't have this vision in your heart for your life that you want, the most expansive, delightful, abundance life that you can imagine. You would not have that if it wasn't meant for you. And we don't need to let the how hold us back anymore. The how is right here. I'm right here. You were divinely matched and connected with me for a reason. I teach the how on so many things. And if one of the things that you're really focused on wanting is to be healthier in your body and bring back your energy, my guess is there's already somebody that you feel a connection with, where you consume their content, you listen to their podcasts, you really like this person. That person is meant to help you. You're seeing them for a reason. They have the how. If it's about growing your business, being able to monetize your gifts, passions, and talents online, and creating a life of true freedom and not having to work so damn hard in order to have money and the lifestyle you want, that's why you were brought to me. Because you know I get it. You know I understand how your unique brain works and how beaten down you can feel. The universe is already connecting you with the people for the how. So you can't tell yourself, I don't know how. You don't have to know how. There are other people being brought into your life that are already there right now or are coming into your life to show you the path. They've already done it. They've already plowed that field. They've already laid the path. Just like when you go on a hike, think about how many people who have gone on these hikes before you in these places where it's not even a man-made path, but it really is. It's a path that was made by so many people taking it. Someone had to start it. Someone had to go first. Someone had to go second. Someone had to be the 500th person. And you're that for somebody else. You forget that. Sometimes you discredit that. But there are things that you've gone through in your life, whether it's through training, whether it's through experience, whether it's through trial and error. There are things that you are further ahead on a path. Maybe you've gotten from A to C. You're not from A to G yet. You're not from A to T yet, but you're from A to C. And there's someone who is saying, I don't know how to get from A to C. You're their person. What an honor to be that person for someone. You've gone first. You're ahead of them, and your unique personality, your unique way of expressing yourself, your unique heart, your unique mannerisms, your unique way of teaching, your unique way of creating is meant to help that specific person. This is all clearly here for you. You've just been on the wrong station. So let's make sure we tune in every day to your abundant station. And I want you right now to look around, whether it's at your own face, whether you're in your kitchen making a coffee, whether you're staring out the window, whether you're on a walk outside right now, even if you're inside of a gym, even if you're inside of an apartment or a house that you know is not your most abundant place, and you want something different from here and you don't love it there. There is without a doubt something in there that you can look at right now that resembles abundance. Is it your favorite candle? Is it a divine perfume that you're like, oh, whoever created this scent or this essential oil is so delicious? I have a candle right now that's burning from one of my favorite brands that one of my most dear, dear, beautiful people who helped save my life, Steve, who has a special 2-part episode on the podcast. This is a man who saved me because of his area of expertise and abundance. And he introduced me to this most adorable candle shop by the beach that only sells this one brand of candle. And I've never smelled anything like it. And anytime I light it, it puts a smile on my face, and I have it burning here right now because that's pure abundance. I used to live in a very small, not very nice apartment when I was first introduced to these candles, but it made the entire place smell abundant and rich and full of hope and possibility. Maybe it's a certain cup that you use, but I want you to look at something right now. What is something that's abundant to you right now that you can see? I see the abundance. The abundance is here. The abundance is all around me. It really is. It might not be all the things that you are calling into your life are not manifested yet, but they'll be manifested faster once you continue to acknowledge the abundance that's already there, the abundance that's already here now, the abundance that's already within you, the abundance that's already in your life. When you focus on that, you're creating the easy path for all the other abundance that is floating out there that you've been trying to call in. Now you're making pathways for it to easily come because you're already appreciating and seeing the abundance that's here. The path gets covered with a bunch of debris and gunk where pretty soon you can no longer see which way to go when we're stuck in scarcity and we're only seeing obstacles and we're only seeing blocks and we're not seeing any other way. But you have the power to clean all of that off by focusing on it. Look at something within you. Do you feel a little better today than yesterday? Do you feel a little more at peace, like you can exhale right now because of listening to this? Taste whatever it is you're drinking as you take even sips of water, that you're nourishing yourself with this water. Take a look at the weather. Take a look at some plant that you see. Take a look at the fact that you are able to get yourself to move your body today. Take a look at the new pen you got, the new journal, the fact that you're not alone in this. This is all here for you. It is all coming. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry. We're going to do better now. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.